Welcome back to the channel, family. For the very first time, we are wearing our merch. You see, Tenel, Tekla, Onel. So we are an African team. We react on any and everything American. And today we are checking out the B-17, the only aircraft that flew without a cockpit. Yeah.
It has really stirred up. Got to react to aircraft stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing all the aircraft stuff and she hasn't been around. So she's going to check out this one. And we're doing this one in honor of all of our viewers that have lost their loved one in wars, especially one viewer who requested for this in honor of his dad. We want to honor your dad through this video the best we can. And when you watch this video, I hope you find comfort in that. As Memorial Day is coming up, we hope that you find comfort, and we are family here. Thank you, family.
Thank you, family.
Yeah.
Please do consider watching at least half of the video. The video is going to be quite, let's say, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
As I can see. So please consider watching at least 10 minutes of the video. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Do share as well. Thank you.
Thank you, family. Let's head out and see what this story is about, because I can promise you a lot of people are requesting for this video.
It was the 14th of July, 1944, a thunderous evening. Cruising at 25,000 feet, 24-year-old First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson of the 483rd Bomb Group was pilot of a B-17G Flying Fortress, nicknamed Mizpah, its tail number 42-32-109. Their mission was to strike at the very heart of the Nazi stronghold in Budapest, Hungary. The formation consisted of 60 flying fortresses.
Now, I have a question though. Is this the aircraft from which the B-52 is derived? Because it kind of look like that. The shape is kind of almost the same. Yeah. I don't know, because I know the B-52 has 8 engines and this one has 4, but the shape is the same. Let me know if that is derived from this, if this is the grandfather of the B-52. Yeah.
In Budapest, Hungary. The formation consisted of 60 flying fortresses, and as they entered Hungary, they were bombarded by relentless curtains of thick flak. Explosions erupted all around Mizpah, shredding the tail section and punching holes into the battle-worn wings. Nonetheless, the B-17 formation presses through the initial flak bombardment and heads inbound towards their main target, the Ferencváros railroad yards. This was one of the most heavily defended and strategically vital targets of the late war, critical for the movement of troops, equipment and oil, keeping the German war machine alive. Now, just seconds away from the target, Bombardier 2nd Lieutenant Kenneth Dudley lines up the Sperry bomb site and successfully releases their bombs. All of a sudden, chaos erupts. A Flak 88 round lands square on the nose of Mizpah. The nose explodes, vaporizing the bombardier and the navigator, whilst covering the front of the fortress in blood. The nose peels off above the aircraft, and shrapnel from the cockpit ricochets throughout the cabin, piercing wing gunner Sergeant Wesley Tucker.
These are real photos.
Yeah.
Ah,
I think those are real photos.
what?
Wow.
How can they take off the full nose of an aircraft and it's still flying? What? Look at this.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
That thing is cooked. This seems to be like a real photo from the war, from the battle. This is crazy.
In blood. The nose peels off above the aircraft, and shrapnel from the cockpit ricochets throughout the cabin, piercing wing gunner Sergeant Wesley Tucker in the chest. The inside temperature plummets to a freezing minus 30 degrees. Due to the extreme damage, the center of gravity shifts to the tail, causing the fortress to pitch up into a vertical. They were mere seconds away from stalling out and entering a death spiral. Astonishingly, First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson, despite no longer having a cockpit, regains control of the battered B-17 and
How the hell can somebody regain a control of an aircraft that does not have a cockpit? It's like a driver getting control of a car that does not have a steering. How does he control a car that doesn't have where to sit and steer the car? These Americans are always up to.
That's more like Americans.
Yeah, she has a better answer. That's more American. That's like just American. The answer is America. So if you ask the question, how does a plane fly without a cockpit? The good answer is America. Sure,
America.
America, as the chubby electron guys would say.
Regains control of the battered B-17 and re-enters the formation. The crew of a nearby B-17, nicknamed Yvonne, couldn't believe what they were seeing. A blood-soaked B-17 without a nose pulls up alongside them in one of the most haunting sights.
I really want to find out why was it nicknamed Yvonne? Is there like a reason why they named it as Yvonne?
Yvonne was the aircraft that was beside, right? This very B-52 that they damaged the nose was called Mispa. If you heard in the introduction of the video, it's called Mispa. And generally, I think pilots name their aircrafts under women's name.
I see.
Yeah. That you see like the U2 Dragon Lady and all those kind of things.
Mhm.
Though Dragon Lady is a general name for all the U2s, but generally they name their aircraft after ladies. Maybe it's their wives or something.
So the question is why?
Yeah, why do they name it after ladies? So that would be a valid question. Let's head out. Yeah, if you hear this, please let us hear in the comment why ladies.
A blood-soaked B-17 without a nose pulls up alongside them in one of the most haunting sights of the war. Mizpah was strangely flying as if nothing had happened. What was happening inside the B-17 was even more impressive. Since there was no cockpit or control column left to maneuver the aircraft, under the screaming command of pilot Swanson, the crew had begun to fly the aircraft by pulling the exposed control cables by hand. Despite having lost a significant part of the aircraft, this flying fortress and its injured crew refused to go down, a symbol of unwavering courage and indomitable machine spirit. However, over 200 Flak 88 guns still had their sights set on the formation. Suddenly, another explosion rattles the B-17. A flak
Again?
barrage destroys their number 2 engine as the fortress begins to lose power and airspeed. With the nose blown off and an engine gone, Mizpah and her crew, through sheer determination and will, kept the aircraft airborne. However, the effects of drag from all the damage received was increasing by the second. Mizpah had fallen far behind the formation by now. For a perilous 10 minutes, the crew battled the control cables to get as far away from the hornet's nest as possible.
Damn.
Now, over Dunavex, Hungary, pilot Ewald Swanson informed his crew to immediately bail out whilst he held it steady. 7 crew members successfully bail out of the aircraft. Swanson could no longer tame the crippled fortress on his own. Immediately, the B-17 pitches up, trapping Swanson inside the fuselage. He grabs the parachute and keeps it close to him, waiting for the B-17 to stall out. As the fortress comes to a standstill, Swanson takes the opportunity to jump out of the front, but just as he does, his chute catches the torn metal of the cockpit, ripping through the fabric with brutal force. This was a blessing in disguise, however, as if the
Why?
fabric hadn't torn, he would have gone down with the ship, pinned by centrifugal forces. Swanson is violently flung back, narrowly missing the tail section of the B-17. The young pilot momentarily passes out, whilst falling out the sky from 20,000 feet. When he opened his eyes, he was seconds away from hitting the ground. First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson immediately opens his parachute, but notices that it had
What? 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 You get this guy is inside of a plane that is about to stall out. He manages to jump out. His parachute is torn out and is flung, narrowly missing the destroyed tail of the aircraft. And then he passes out. And then starts falling into the empty sky at 20,000 feet.
25.
He yeah. He just regains his consciousness to find out that he's seconds from hitting the ground. How can things get how can somebody get more America? It doesn't get more American than this. Guys! Ah, okay. He opened his mouth, but the words wouldn't come out.
Immediately opens his parachute, but notices that it had sustained significant damage. The chute was not slowing him down enough for a safe landing. The landing was going to be brutal, one that he was unlikely to walk away from or even survive. By sheer luck, on the way down, he spots what he believed to be an enemy POW camp in the middle of a dense forest. Swanson positions himself on top of the trees by the camp, hoping it would break his fall. Several seconds later, he crashes into the dense treetop. First Lieutenant Swanson suffers a broken left leg alongside deep tissue cuts from the tree branches. Against all odds, he survives the landing. The German medics of the POW camp quickly spot Swanson's body in the brush and recover him. They administer life-saving first aid to the young pilot, who has at this point stared death in the face and kept...
Wow, Germans even offer to save his life.
That's good.
That is almost good because it's caused by the Germans. It was shut down by the Germans, okay? So, yeah, I don't know if I should give them credit, but yeah, that was a nice one. Nice try there. See what I did there? Yeah.
The life-saving first aid to the young pilot, who has at this point stared death in the face and kept going. In fact, to his amazement, he finds out that the entire crew of his B-17 had survived. His crew were captured nearby, only to meet up at the same camp their pilot had somehow ended up at. A happy accident, as they put it. The crew would endure 9 long months through the harsh cold winter at the POW camp. On the 30th of April 1945, US troops would liberate the crew of Mizpah. The war for these young men had finally come to an end. The 8 survivors would return home to the USA that night. Ewald Swanson's bravery that day would earn him the prestigious rank of Lieutenant Colonel before his retirement from the United States Air Force. After the war, he returned to a quieter life, marrying his beloved Catherine Swanson and raising a son together at Michigan, USA. Yet, it was the bond with his B-17 crewmates that remained closest to his heart. In the decades that followed, they would often reunite, old warriors with weathered hands and bright eyes, sharing stories of impossible missions and the unbreakable brotherhood they forged when they were barely more than kids. Swanson would pass away peacefully on the 28th of February 2009 at the age of 89, remembered not only as a war hero, but as the only known pilot to have ever flown an aircraft without a cockpit. Only Mizpah and
This guy passed out in 2009. I thought they were going to say 1980
Like
something.
19 something, like 1990 or something.
2009. I need to hear this, okay? I need to hear this, okay?
remembered not only as a war hero, but as the only known pilot to have ever flown an aircraft without they forged when they were barely more than kids. Swanson would pass away peacefully on the 28th of February 2009 at the age of 89, remembered not only as a war hero, but as the only known pilot to have ever flown an aircraft without a cockpit. Only Mizpah and the men who dared to ride her into hell and back could ever truly understand what that meant. Only 4.2% of the viewers watching this video are subscribed. It takes countless weeks to write and produce these videos, but it takes just a second of your time to click that subscribe button. It's completely free, but helps us out immensely in bringing this content to you. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.
Stay
Safe. We're staying safe.
Wow.
I mean,
Mizpah, I mean, that's a nice name. And your sister name is even Mizpah.
no, not my sister.
Who is she?
She's my brother. My sister-in-law.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that one was cool. I mean, the link to the original video in the description, right? Consider subscribing to his channel too. As he said, it takes a lot for them to produce these videos. And for us, we actually get less effort making our videos because they already done it. For us to respect them and their work, please, through our channel, support him and his team. Thank you, family.
Thank you, family. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for watching this video.
Sure.
And if this video gave you comfort, please
do subscribe.
do
Consider
subscribe.
subscribing.
Yeah. To all the fallen soldiers, let them rest in peace.